Anna's smile was contagious, and Bob thought to himself, I've hit the jackpot coming back to work. Her desk was upgraded right next to the secretary, and when Annie told Bob to check all the data first, the secretary felt like she'd just stepped in dog. She had been working her tail off without any recognition, and now an old guy was stealing the spotlight. It felt like a buffet of emotion. Bob understood the secretary's feelings and quickly explained he wasn't trying to steal her thunder, he just wanted to help, maybe even be the company's invisible superhero. With Bob's patient mediation, the secretary calmed down, reevaluating her worth. Watching him enter the boss office, she thought, maybe I could be a data goddess too. After his data adventure, Bob found the company's spending puzzling. High areas got little, low ones got much. A reverse business model. Bob enthusiastically shared his discoveries and some golden ideas with Annie, making sure to highlight that the secretary provided tons of classified intel. Annie thought, this old guy is really sharp. She grew to appreciate Bob's meticulousness and kindness more and more. The next morning was time to face new challenges. In the morning, Annie received an urgent call. The product image links on the website were taking a nap, and sales plummeted. They were experiencing an e-commerce catastrophe. She was in a frenzy when her mom called, starting with, "Why haven't you been around at all?" Annie felt a mix of chaos and helplessness. Hearing her daughter multitasking, Mom criticized her for not taking it seriously. Annie felt unfairly treated as a work robot. After hanging up, she vented to her husband, but accidentally sent it to Mom. When she got to the office, she realized her blunder. Mom's emotional state and heart conditions flashed through her mind, and if Mom saw that email, it'd be a disaster waiting to happen. Desperate, Annie enlisted the tech crew to try some hacking magic to delete the email, but they told her, oh, that's not happening. Just then, Bob had a bright idea. Let's sneak in and grab the computer before Anna's mom gets home. Now that's a clever play. Bob and colleagues rushed to Anna's mom's, found the key under a pot. The enemy was clever like treasure hunting, but upon entering, they encountered a security alarm. Bob was startled. He sent the others to find the computer and called Annie for the password. Annie remained optimistic, thinking her mom too cheap for an alarm. Let's bet what's in the drink. Just as they were about to grab the computer, the alarm blared, and Bob was stunned. Everyone sprinted for the exit. Bob quickly organized the retreat, but one colleague was entranced by the scenery outside, oblivious to the chaos. It took a chubby guy jumping on the hood to catch his attention. Phew. They helped Annie resolve the crisis without major drama. To thank them, Annie invited everyone to a bar. After a few drinks, she began to let loose, becoming a workplace venting machine. The pressure seemed ready to burst, and as she spiraled, it became a tsunami of emotions. Bob swiftly stopped the party. Annie stumbled out and headed for the restroom. Bob, the flower guardian, handed her a tissue. He gently patted her back, providing comfort. In that moment, Annie finally dropped her facade and cried on Bob's shoulder. To others, she was the perfect career woman, but behind that success lay sacrifices of time with her daughter and family. She often felt lost and lonely, trying to balance her career and home life. Bob listened quietly, like her powerful supporter. As long as Annie believed in it, Bob would support her fully. Life was always rocky, but he remained by her side. One day, when Bob went to pick up Anna's daughter, he saw Matt get into a car with another woman. It felt like a thunderbolt, and his heart raced. He knew this truth, if revealed to Annie, would be a fatal blow. Back at the office, he felt deeply conflicted. Annie remained oblivious, happily telling Bob she was off to San Francisco tomorrow to meet the new presidential candidate. What a thrill. She sincerely invited Bob to join. But Bob felt a rush of fear. How could he possibly break the news to her? Little did she know her family had crumbled out of sight. In the end, Bob swallowed his torment and boarded the San Francisco flight. As the plane climbed, Bob's heart remained unsettled as he wrestled with how to convey the brutal truth to Annie. Every time Annie looked into his eyes, Bob inadvertently choked on his words, as if under a magic spell. In San Francisco's hotel, Annie felt inexplicably nervous before meeting the new president. She wanted to chat with Bob, but hadn't seen him in ages. Curious, Annie asked Bob about his marriage, thinking someone as remarkable as him must have a goddess for a wife, which Bob was indeed proud of. He and his wife spent 42 years together, their affection deepening over time, from their first meeting until her passing. Every time he recalled those memories, his love burned as fiercely as ever, while Annie quietly felt envious of that bond. Annie felt a deep sense of loss for her own crumbling marriage, remembering discovering her husband's messages with another woman over a month ago. Faced with her husband's betrayal, she even blamed herself, believing her work energy led to the marriage falling apart. She resolved to make things right for the family, but knew she had to replace the president first, otherwise balance was impossible. But Bob told her that she didn't need to make excuses for someone else's mistakes. Annie understood this well. She craved a decisive escape, but felt constrained by her worries, especially concerning her young daughter. Her hectic work life had claimed the bulk of her time, and she worried she wouldn't have the energy to build a new family in her remaining years. The fear of the future washed over her, and she often dreaded the thought of dying alone. Bob listened quietly, his eyes filled with compassion, understanding the struggles Annie had faced. Under her strong exterior lay a delicate heart, as fragile as glass. Bob wished he could help Annie share her burdens, but felt powerless. The next day, Annie met with the new candidate while Bob anxiously waited outside, pondering how he could bring Annie some joy. When Annie emerged smiling, Bob saw long-lost lightness in her eyes, relaxing his own heart. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Thanks for your support.